the reality is they're not the team that won 3 out of 5 premierships. They're not that team. So we can accept that they're still a contender, and I think they'll still emerge as a contender, but they're not that all-conquering team that absolutely dominated, particularly at the MCG. They're not quite that team because the guys who drove that team either aren't there or aren't quite where they were when they did it. So I think that's the element. They're still good enough to mount 3 or 4 goal leads, but they're no longer that powerful unit that can take 3 or 4 goals and put it to 6 and say this game's all over. Carlton, you can kick some late and get it back to 4, but this is over. So that's important. There was a very astute temper text just a little bit earlier, just highlighting some of the talent that's been taken away from Richmond since their first premiership. And there were so many names, Rance and Butler and Grigg and all these names. Yeah. And that's what happens when you win premierships. Teams want your players because they're good players and they help you win premierships. But also, just the attrition rate of good football teams, you lose guys out the other end. Rance retires, Sean Grigg retires, and they lose a few others. Butler gets headhunted,
Higgins
gets headhunted. That's what happens to good teams, and that's probably now they're having to fill those voids with players who they're not sure whether are AFL players. Jack Ross feeling his way through. Do we know if he's going to make it or not? We don't know. They're the guys who are having to step up, so that's why they're probably not yet or no longer the team who used to just put teams away when they got to 3 or 4 goals in front.